Do you hate being stuck in the cold when showering with your partner? Well, not anymore. Today we're going to go through the simple and rather inexpensive process of installing a tandem shower head system. Now, I will admit that this was not an original idea on my side. I got the idea when I saw a Facebook ad for a Kickstarter for a tandem shower head from a company called Buna. I'm not really a fan of Kickstarter personally, but then I also noticed the price of $250 starting out and goes up to over $300, which is insane for what it is. I knew I could create something that worked just as well for notably less, so let's get to it. For this, we're going to need a few items, and I'll put links to Amazon for all of the products you can buy from there down in the description below. You'll need a shower curtain rod, a shower head extension hose, 2 shower heads, a diverter valve, a sweeping 45-degree connector, a coupler, thread sealer, some zip ties, and a mount for the shower head. The only tools that should be needed for this would be either an adjustable wrench or a pair of vice grips. The first thing we'll need to do is remove your old shower head, which just screws on from the arm on the wall. You may need a pair of pliers to remove it depending on how snug it was put on there. If there's any thread sealing tape on there, go ahead and clean that off now, as thread sealing tape is only good for one use. Go ahead and apply new tape to the threads. You should only need 1 to 1.5 wraps around the threads for it to create a seal, and always make sure you wrap clockwise so the tape doesn't unwrap as you go to thread on your connectors. The first piece we'll be putting on is the diverter valve. I recommend wrapping the threads before putting it on, as it's just easier to do so in your hand than when it's up on the wall. I always love editing videos where there's a close-up of my head and it makes me realize that I'm in dire need of a haircut. I guess I'll get on that. Put it on hand tight, and then grab your adjustable wrench and tighten it down. The nut on the diverter valve swivels, so you'll have to hold the body of the valve with one hand while you tighten it. Hopefully you have a higher quality adjustable wrench than I do, and it will actually loosen up once you're done using it and not smack the wall. Next up is to grab the extension hose. The hose has 2 ends, one is a nut and the other is a tapered edge. We want to use the nut side for the diverter valve. There's supposed to be a white gasket inside of here, so make sure that it hasn't fallen out before you go to tighten the hose on. And next up is your shower curtain rod for everything to hang from. This thing made the most god-awful noise when extending it. How you attach your shower curtain rod depends on the one that you get, but they're supposed to simply twist to allow the rod to extend, and then twist the other way to tighten it and press against the wall. After you have it extended, you'll want to use a few zip ties to hold the hose up and out of the way. Now, I'll admit it took me 3 times to get a hose that fit properly for my needs, as my bathroom is smaller than a traditional bathroom. You'll likely want a 70-inch hose, which is what I'll link in the description below. I'm using a 59-inch hose here because they didn't make 60, and would have really liked to have around a 65-inch one, but I couldn't find that. When it comes to the shower head holder, this will depend on your needs, but I went with a suction type style one for the video, as that is what will work for most people. I'm actually working on 3D printing one for my own personal setup, but I know most people don't have a 3D printer, so I didn't want to go that route for the video. Now that I'm done getting a spam call, it's time to grab the coupler in 45-degree pieces for the shower head. Put your thread sealant tape on all of the threads before connecting everything. I actually ran out of my good thread tape and had to use the garbage one that came with the shower heads, but it doesn't leak, so I guess it works. Anyway, put the coupling into the extension hose and tighten it down. You may actually be able to get away with just going hand tight for it like I did, but if not, you can use your adjustable wrench on the nut portion and pliers on the extension hose. We are running out. Now, for the angle of the shower head, this one is actually a bit finicky. You can use two 135-degree angle adapters like I did to get the range of motion you need, a swivel ball joint or two, or potentially a single 112-degree angle adapter. I went with two 135-degree angle adapters, or 45 degrees depending on how you want to classify it, as I wanted to have the transition be a sweeping angle, meaning it didn't make any harsh bends. This is because I didn't want to reduce water flow by creating turbulence at the angle, which is a concern with running two shower heads. The amount of an angle you need will also depend on your shower head that you use as well. For the shower heads, I chose these because I like their size and they're nice and simple. They also have flow restrictors in them so you don't use as much water, but they can be removed if you want full flow. Just know you'll run out of hot water fairly quickly if you do. The ball valve portion of the shower head unscrews easily, which makes it easy to attach your hardware before screwing the shower head back on. It's not required to remove it from the ball joint, but I did it on this side just for ease of access. Now, I know the cost of the shower heads is the majority of the price for this project, but you could just as easily pick up $5 heads from a big box store or even Walmart and use those. They just have a very narrow stream of water and they're kinda terrible. After you have one side up, go ahead and put the other one on. The hose, in my case here, was a slight issue because of it being a hair too short. A 70-inch hose in a modern tub should not be an issue here, but I just zip tied it to the angle adapters and that kept it out of the way. Now it's time to test and make sure everything works and that there are no leaks. Ignore the water leak coming out on the right side that was due to an issue with the bottom angle adapter piece, which I won't even be including a link for as it's just a bad design. The diverter valve works beautifully. If you want water out of just one side, bring the lever all the way up or all the way forward, and in the middle for water to go out both sides. The last thing, if you don't have a shower curtain already hung up, is to go ahead and do that now. As you can see, I went with the same exact curtain rod and am going with a washable shower curtain. It's convenient as it comes with the stainless steel ball bearing hooks and a nice looking white shower curtain that lets plenty of light in without being see-through. It's made out of polyester and the inside is completely waterproof, so you don't have to worry about making a mess while the two of you shower together. It has stainless steel O-rings to attach the hooks to, so you don't have to worry about the curtain tearing as you slide it back and forth, and it can withstand weekly washes, or monthly, whenever, no judgment here. Just make sure to tumble dry it on low heat, or just hang it up to dry as it dries fairly quickly. But that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the process, and if you have any questions, make sure to drop them down in the comment section below. And as always, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all new content as it comes out. Thanks so much for watching, take care.